Hey guys, in this video we're going to be doing my first clears on the Knights of Grandshelt and the Yshe crown stages, and then I'll be going back in a different video and trying to make it a little more budget. But for now, we're going to just use my best stuff. So for the Knights of Grandshelt clear, you can only use Season 4 units. We're going to make Knights of Grandshelt the leader, and make sure you use the levels 1, 2, and 3 crowns on Knights of Grandshelt in his shift form. You want his shift form crowned for the 4th stage, but make sure you claim the crowns out of your mailbox before you do that. And then we'll go ahead and get the last crowns now. So this is the party we're going to use. I'll show you the gear in a moment. And we're going to go for a turn 3 clear. We're not really going to try to like speed clear it, although you probably could. But just to make it a little bit easier, we're going to go for turn 3. So on turn 1, we're going to start Knights of Grandshelt in the base, then go to the shift. And we're going to use Reagan the Return to do both his Magnus abilities and then his Light Imperil. Let's see, Fina the Return on this first turn. Now we're getting dispelled on turn 1. So what we're going to do with Fina is we're going to do Light Imbue for the party. And then just Shelga and Barrier. Let's see. Reagan the Return can just triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. We did imbue the party with Fina. Knights of Grandshelt can triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. And last of all, Reagan can just like tag team a little bit to build the chain in advance, because they're really here just like as an extra unit. Okay, now we don't want to push the boss below 50 quite yet. We want to burst from 50 to dead pretty much. We're passive provoking with Reagan, with evasion. There's the dispel. I think you can possibly Nethicite it. I don't actually know, but I didn't bother. Okay, so we're going to get set up for bursting big next turn. So Fina is now going to we got the spell, so we're going to re-imbue the party, do a human demon killer, and then I guess we can just Shelga again. The boss does have Mirage, so Reagan will just triple bolting to get rid of the boss's Mirage. Okay, let's see. Now Knights of Grandshelt will triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's double Absolute Mirror of Equity. Nope, doing it wrong. Let's Magnus and then double Absolute Mirror of Equity, while Reagan the Return, or the Dark Lineage, can do his cooldown and then double Absolute Mirror. And then last of all, Reagan can again just triple tag team. We'll start them first, and we'll chain this up. And again, we're trying to not go below 50, although I'm doing a lot less damage than I expected. But that's okay, the big damage will come this turn. We're going to use the LBs now that Fina's SLB is ready. Although if you're only using an EX2, you could probably do it just fine with the regular LB, but we're going to go ahead and use her SLB. Now we're going to do our main damage. So we're going to use the shifted LB of Knights of Grandshelt. Last while Reagan will just tag again. Reagan the Return will LB, and then other Reagan will just triple Absolute Mirror of Equity. So we'll send this first, we'll send the rest, and that should hopefully be the end of the boss. There it is. There is a turn 3 clear, and again, I'll be going back for a budget run very soon. So all missions, no KOs, no continues, 5 turns or less. The team was, last of all, Reagan is just, honestly, just here. You can bring anyone you want. Dark Rain would be way better. I just gave him some bulk. He's a support chainer, and he's just here. He literally contributed basically nothing. Reagan, the Dark Lineage, is using a greatsword because of the Imperil from Knights of Grandshelt. Titus's Garb, LB damage versus demons and humans. There we go. Also, the whole party has some fire and dark resist because the boss does use fire and dark damage. Reagan the Return, passive provoke, evasion. Other than that, whatever. Honestly, whatever. Some fire and dark resist, just so that we resist the magic. Knights of Grandshelt start in the base form for Titus's Garb, some auto buffing, etc. Shift form is, he is crowned in the shift form. Use the levels 1, 2, and 3 crowns on the shift form. High attack power, a little bit of fire and dark resist, LB damage versus demons and humans. He's maxed on everything. And there we go, his own card. And then Fiend of the Return, literally, whatever. She's just a buffer. You know, her gear is kind of irrelevant. I just tossed on some spirit stuff, and then that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and retreat, so the budget run doesn't cost me a lot of energy to optimize. But there was the quick clear, and I'll be back for the budget run in a moment. But now let's hop over to the Yshe crowns. See you in a sec. Alright guys, next we're going to go to the Yshe crown fight. This one I remember being harder on JP. They might have nerfed it for global, I don't actually know, but I did a test run and it felt pretty easy. So maybe global changed it, but maybe not. Maybe I was just bad on JP. I have no idea. But let's give it a go. So we're going to start off with Runda doing his LB for mitigations. He is auto-covering. Ihana will do Human Killer on our Tyvis. Yshe will go ahead and use her LB this turn. Leftia will do Fire Imbue. Let's do Elemental Power Fire on Tyvis for the Ramping Amplify. And I guess we can also do Shelga? Sure, why not? And then Tyvis can do his Tyvis' Spirit, his Magnus, and then a Flame Spurge or whatever. Okay. So on turn 1, the boss is going to buff himself. So we're evade covering with Runda. Okay, so the boss did buff himself. We're going to use Ihana to dispel it from an Esper, or you can use an item, that's fine, I think. We're just going to finger snap. So we're going to dispel with Ihana. Then we're going to use Yshe. Make sure you did crown her ability. Only the first 2 levels. Don't crown the last level till you finish this fight. Then we can just do kind of whatever after you break the boss again. Then Runda is going to Scarlet Wave. Leftia will Scarlet Wave, and we'll use the LB of Tyvis. Okay, so Tyvis's base or regular LB is pretty slow, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to chain it, and hopefully I chained it properly. I did. Perfect. Okay. So a decent chunk of damage. Now we're going to get dispelled this turn. Some attacks. And we're dispelled. There we go. But now we have the Ramping Amplify from Leftia that applies to Tyvis. And now he's got 100% Amplify. We'll use Ihana to Human Killer yet again on Tyvis. We'll use Runda to use his special helmet to do all the modifier buffs for Tyvis' SLB. Tyvis will use the SLB, and then we'll just support chain again. Yeah, this felt so much easier on global. We'll just support chain. And here we go. And we'll use the SLB. Boom. Done. Handled. All missions. So, Runda is passive provoking with evasion. Other than that, he's using his Runda Head Burst. Make sure you're using the Burst version. You got to convert it at the crafting menu. The Burst version gives you the SLB modifier buff. Ihana, honestly, literally whatever. She's literally here for Human Killer. She also does Dispel on the boss from an Esper. Tyvis is using some Clash gear, Titus's Garb, his STMR, Human Killer, etc. Maxed on everything, so a maxed LB, maxed Human. Then Leftia. Gear is kind of irrelevant. Jet Black Silk Ribbons is important, and then she wants Scarlet Wave to support chain. Other than that, like, whatever. And then Yshe, we did use the first 2 crowns. We didn't use the last level, so we do have the 89 defense break on her. Other than that, fire weapon, or give her another copy of Scarlet Wave, and she's just the breaker. Make sure you break on the big break on turn 2 after you dispel the boss's buffs. And again, I'm going to go ahead and retreat so I can play with it more with some alternate clears. But there is the 2 crown fights. So see you in a bit for some different clears. Later.